Okay, we're back. As you can see, we're immune to paralyze. Let's finish out dungeon. And then let's do orc. Looks like we're almost done training shields. This is a nice pile of things coming for us. Probably wouldn't hurt to train a little bit of swords. Let's just take it to 5. Mainly just to make my riposte a little bit better. That's almost no experience investment, so it's not a big deal. Of course, we'll swap to Zen later, and that's fine. I mean, we'll have a different weapon by then. Maybe a U-Demon Blade, I don't know. Let's go ahead and go into Orc. But we'll get back to training throwing before too long. Just want to get shields to Mendeley. I'm calling it Mendeley, that's not really what it is, but you know what I mean. Oh, we actually got teleport trapped, I didn't even realize. Oh, and no digging. That's fine. This isn't so bad. Just means that we don't have an ideal place to run to. Okay, let's hit him with the rocks. Come on. Now, these guys can actually paralyze me, so that's a problem. It's a big problem. Let's emulate. If I step like this, yep, he cannot paralyze me. Keep penetrating. That sucks. Finally, paralysis works. Nice, there's the big explosion. Took out the Ogre Mage. I don't think I risk paralysis at any moment. Alright, let's... What needles do I have? It's been a few days since I played this character, I've forgotten a few things. I should be swapping to needles is what I should be doing. I should be using Curare against those guys. This is the Ogre end. It's a real shame. In fact, I should probably start assuming I'm going to get the Ogre end, because then that means that I can't be surprised without enough MR. Because I have enough MR to block Orc Sorcerers entirely, but not Ogre Mages. You don't always get Ogre Mages in here, but you certainly can. And of course, the proper thing to do is to assume the worst thing is going to happen. Keeps giving me robes. Probably because I don't have much armor skill. Cloak of Inference, RC+. I'm happy with poison immunity for now. By summoning, by another summoning, by fog, by vulnerability. Identify lignification, by all this curing, by the heal wounds, agility's good too. We'll leave the mutation. I believe we found a few. No, just one, but whatever. Okay, well that was a very uneventful Orcish Mines. Other than the Ogre Mages we found. Sort of a strange layout. I don't think I've seen this layout before. Well, we're slowly building up to 17 scrolls of teleportation, although I seriously doubt I'm going to want to use it for this, for the trove. Hey, Archmagi. Wouldn't that be nice? All right. Let's check out some basic dungeon enemies, like Wizard. Looks like he can still banish me, which sucks, but he's doesn't have a very good chance of it. Alright, hold up. Come on. Wow. I need some more accuracy. We kind of jumped on the shields train a little bit early. But that's the right way to do it, in my opinion. I mean, shields are just so good on an ogre. Your defenses are going to be garbage otherwise, you see, so just makes sense. Alright, this is from when we got shafted. We can now fight Cyclopses with no real risk at all. Pro Cold, very good. Swappable. Keep that on hand. It's a shame that we found those boots, because guess what? We're too fat for those. Okay, hold up. Get them with the large rocks. There's another artifact we can't wear. Uh-oh, I shouldn't be tabbing here because we've got Ogre Mage. Wait, nope, never mind. We have leveled up just enough to gain enough. We've gained enough MR that we don't just die here anymore. Okay, he technically can kill me now if he were to get very, very, very lucky. This is not good. I technically need to blink away to avoid getting one-shotted here, which just sucks. Well, no, that's not true. Check this out. Well, that's not working at all. I'm trying to... I was kind of hoping the centaur would block the path. Alright, he can't one-shot me anymore. It's only 18 per head, so... Let's do summoning again. Not exactly playing super smart right now. Oh my god, let's just go in. Oh, there's a number of these things. Got a ghost here. What a wonderful name. 50 damage, huh? Yes, burn terribly indeed. He's susceptible to flame, but it's not really doing much for me. I could berserk. I don't want to. I'd like to teleport, but I'm trying to save. I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll do vulnerability. Got him. Had to do it twice. Well, there's an interesting weapon. Strength +8. Actually increases my damage a good bit. With throwing. So I'm getting some extra mileage out of that weapon slot that I otherwise just wouldn't be getting. What a floor. That was exciting, I suppose. Another item we can't use, gloves. Hands too fat. He can't, yeah, right. He can't paralyze me anymore. Suppose I should be checking pretty much all these weapons for such gigantic amounts of strength and things like that. Wow, is this a bifurcated floor? It's ridiculous. Didn't even notice. This character feels like it's having more trouble than it should. If I find some slaying, I'll be a little better off. Wow, that's really weird. Just the way this is set up. Can you just not get into this floor? Yeah, I need to dig. I need to dig through because there's actually no way to get into the east side of that. Oh, nope, hatches will take you there. That's kind of goofy, though. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh! Oh, my God. What an armor. What an armor. We'll be wearing that real soon. Not just yet, because Ogre Mages can still paralyze me, but that's our endgame armor. What a great body armor. That's incredible. Just gotta find one more pip of MR, and we're good to go. Whew. Really good. Now you see exactly how much I value MR, though. Alright, back to D15. Let's finish out the floor. Yep, let's walk out of this. Maybe heal up a bit. Oh boy. That's one way to heal. General store. Take blinking, take summoning. Don't need to buy any more curare. I will take magic mapping and silence though. Alright, that's the floor. That leads us into Snake Pit. And you know what? Since we're going into Snake Pit, we're going to go ahead and pop on the Storm Dragon Scales. You know what? Since my AC is just so sweet. Well, can't afford it. Never mind. I was going to say, let's buy this Cloak of RC. We have our poison covered. Well, we've been hitting a lot of teleport traps. It's like my character has teleportitis. Okay, we're losing out on items here, or excuse me, we're filled up on items here. Let's turn off Polymorph and Flame for pickup. 2 1s that become less useful as time goes on. Let's use Identify on this guy. Random uselessness, I figured. Enchant up the blowgun. We will not use enchant armor on the robe. Aralac is quite nice in here. Thank you, Ogre, for finally coming through on a particularly nice gift. See, we picked up a book of summonings. Of course, we aren't really casting spells this game, so... This is a mistake. I could... Hold up a second. Let's see how much damage I'm potentially subjecting myself to. Yep, 60. Only half of that is fire, so let's say 45, because I have RF+. So 45 plus 45 plus 45 because hasted. They could kill me. Not good. Heal wounds. Man. I should have just blinked. I'll do that now. Hello. It's no good. Wait, no, it is good. Has strength. And that, of course, means extra damage from throwing. Sort of like a slaying bonus for damage only, I think. Not quite as good, of course, but still nice to have. Very happy to see Lamp of Fire. Oh, hello. That's MR. Suppose I should carry that around. Oops, should have checked this ghost. Weapon of Venom, not much damage. For a Mibby, this is a surprisingly low damage ghost. He must have been using a very crappy weapon. Let's get some use out of this Berserk Rage. You know, this Demon Blade already gives me strength, just a little less. Well, significantly less. Let's just save ourselves all this swapping and just use this thing. I mean, come on. It's a relatively minor bonus, and it's probably doing me more harm than good, because I am pressing tab a lot. So I'm tabbing with that short sword, and I shouldn't be. Whereas I'm happy to go into melee with this Demon Blade because it's, you know, it's plus 10. Draining, it's not bad. Evasion. Rather have RF up all the time. Could probably do Elf real quick. This character. We're getting a good amount of Omni resistance. Oh, we got digging. That'll be handy. We'll probably do the other layer branch. I'm a little confused on why I can't see what the other layer branch is. I think it's Swamp. I think what happened is I excluded it off at one point. It was probably the... Yeah, it was probably the entrance with the slimes, or excuse me, the snakes. The, what do you call them? Swamp serpents or whatever. This do a little bit too much damage to be dealing with in layer for most characters. Okay. Down we go. So we've got some fun little traps here. Let's go up. Oh, that's distortion, and I'm just screwing around. While this character could probably survive the abyss pretty easily, that doesn't mean I wanna. That doesn't mean I want to deal with it. Recently came into some money, actually, and I'm thinking about starting a new business. I've always worked for myself. Well, not always, but you know, ever since pretty much shortly after getting my degree in computer science, master's degree, I'm the kind of person who likes to work for himself. Don't do well in a cubicle setting, so I've been kind of looking into different business ideas I might want to do, just because I finally have enough capital to actually do something interesting, you know. I mean, I make a few bucks here and there, basically freelancing, software engineering. If you've seen my cryptocurrency stuff, I write about that. You know, I don't make a ton of money off referrals there, but it's a little bit, you know. Everything kind of comes together to make a living. But since I had a bunch of money dumped in my lap recently, thinking about putting that towards you know, something other than just investments, you know. Diversify a little bit, actually put that into something. So I'm thinking about like buying some property, actually. Either to become a landlord, or possibly something more commercial, maybe like billboards or something. a lot of doors open up. If you have 6 figures in your pocket, or you know, the ability to obtain that much money, which is easier than you think. Kind of what surprises me about the world we live in is the idea of a mortgage seems so insane to me. The idea that you can just say, well, I don't have this money now, but here's 20% of it or whatever, and now I'm in hock to you, and I'll just pay you back for the rest of my life, basically. Like, if you get a 30-year, it's literally called a 30-year mortgage, and then you spend the next 30 years paying off your house. And I know this sounds ignorant, but I didn't actually fully understand that it was this easy. Like, basically anybody can do it. You prove a little bit of income, and they just don't care. They'll give it to you. A little harder for somebody like me, because I work for myself, and my income's a little bit harder to prove. It's different than getting, you know, having a regular job, but I could still do it easily. I'm talking to mortgage guys right now about it. But the point is, I mean, I'm sure that probably the people who play DCSS probably skew a little younger, and I don't know how many of you are interested in this kind of thing at all, but it is fascinating to me, because this is like pretty much exactly why the 2008 housing bubble happened, because you had all these people. Wow, this paralysis doesn't want to take. It's 43%. It's not like 20%. Come on, guys. But yeah, I mean, if you give a bunch of loans to people who just cannot pay them back, you're gonna eventually end up with a big problem, aren't you? It's all based on, you know, nothing. It's like a roller coaster ride. It's got to end somewhere. So it is kind of interesting to me to have these people who, they make a whole life out of, well, like if you're a landlord, you know, and you want to really, really take it seriously and really get into owning property and, you know, getting rent. Like, if you think about it, if you really think about it, like paying rent is insane. You're essentially, you're paying somebody else's mortgage for them. That's what's happening. Now, it's not like free, presuming he's not like a, you know, jackass. He's got to do his job. He's got to maintain the place, you know, things cost money to maintain, roofs, plumbing, things like that. If stuff goes wrong, he's got to fix it. Sometimes that costs a lot of money, but at the end of the day, you're getting more. Even if you're not renting, even if you're just owning it, you're getting equity in something that's worth, presumably, you know, worth the investment. You're not gonna necessarily flip it for an extra $50,000 like people seem to think they can always do, but it's still something that you own, which is nice. Anyway, I'm sure that some people are hearing this and kind of, your eyes are glazing over, so I apologize if it's boring, but this whole world just sort of fascinates me. I didn't realize how easy it was to get such a loan or a mortgage or anything like that, you know. I always figured this was something where, well, I understood that unsecured loans existed, you know, like the idea that you don't need collateral. They're just like, oh, okay, we'll trust you. Your credit score says you're probably not a loser, so here's a big sweaty pile of money. I mean, I understood that happened. I just guess I didn't get how easily it can happen. How they kind of hand them out like candy. Okay, I gotta get out of here. This is not so good. I'm being handed a lot of summoning, so I want to make good use of it. Anyway, it's a whole different area of expertise than what I'm used to. I mean, I have always been a tech person. I've always been super interested in programming and hardware, and lately, for the last long while, cryptocurrency. You know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and all the altcoins. And if you wanna read my thoughts on that, I have some instructional guides and things like that on Medium. You'll see the links if you just go to my. If you just go to my profile, I'm pretty sure there's a link there. It's just Malcolm Rose Gaming on medium.com. I'm not having real good luck today with these evocations. I'm like spamming, and I understand it's 43%, which is not perfect or whatever, but come on, man. A very dense vault. Oh, you know what? We should probably train a little bit more armor. Considering we're using some pretty heavy armor now. In fact, let's drop the Robe of Magic Resistance. I'm willing to risk paralysis. For this much extra defense, I will risk it. Because that AC will help to protect me. I mean, believe me, I don't like it, but this is, if I had to do it on any character, this is the one for it, because I have an insane amount of hit points due to being an ogre. I have pretty good AC. I mean, it's fine. Hey, Needles of Confusion. Wow, we found a 3-stack of acquirement. Oh, and some Needles of Paralysis. Okay. Interesting. Well, we could use Hat of MR or Cloak of MR. So I'm thinking we go Armor. And we need to drop some stuff real quick. How about we get rid of Disintegration? Sorry about the total asshole outside my house, shaking the entire house. So I'm moving pretty soon. Gonna be out of the side of the road here. I'll tell you what I've never understood is people who have bass systems, you know, like stereo systems with the bass cranked up, that are like more expensive than the price of their car. And it's clear that you're doing something wrong if I can hear your music better than you can. It's like I've noticed that sort of the prime thing that separates civilized people from jerk-offs is that they have a little thing called conscientiousness. You know, just a thought. Apparently there are people who will actually, on purpose, they will mess up their muffler, like they'll put a hole in it just so their car is louder. This is what you're dealing with in the world. You know, these people do exist, and their power is petty, but it does exist. They have the power to annoy you. What? That's very rare. You don't usually see artifact animal skins. Anyway, we found Hat of MR, so that was worth a 3-stack. I'm glad we found that. I'm glad it wasn't totally disappointing. It's quite nice. Now we're running around with enough magic resistance that the only thing that can cause us problems are liches and ancient liches, as far as I know. Not even golden eyes. Well, golden eyes 1% confused. Not bad. So we've got our first rune. Let's get another before the video's over. Okay, it was on there too. Yep, this is what it is. Thought it was something like that. We'll fly through here, I think. Ogre really coming through for me. We have, oops, we have 10, count them, 10 javelins of penetration. That's enough to deal with just about any nasty problem that comes my way. Javelins of penetration are the secret sauce. Like, that is the stuff you want. That is the stuff that lets you deal with problems that are otherwise real annoying for a person focusing on throwing. Portal projectile works too for basically the same purpose, but penetration's better because, you know, now you've got a bolt spell essentially that strikes at the force of your throwing ability. It's good to have RC Plus in here because of the dog bodies. That's one of the reasons I switched, but mainly it was because I wanted to have that tiny little strength bonus. It's a minor optimization, but it is present. You know, it's not bad. Now this character's really rolling. Okay, no. That's another Scarf of Cloud Immunity. Wow, what is this vault, and why is it so packed with dudes? Hey, let's go ahead and buy this thing. We lose a couple points of AC, which is unfortunate, but I think overall it's a good trade. Since that poison resistance isn't doing anything for me, since my body armor already gives me our poise. I mean, what am I doing? I'll just drop Scarf of Cloud Immunity. We don't need that. We can come back and get it if I were to run into some wacky vault. that makes me want to use such a thing. God, I love having this much, this many hit points so early is just amazing. I don't even have to worry at all. About Thorn Hunters, because think about it, they do what, 60 damage? Oh no, I can only take 3 of those before I'm at risk of dying, so it would take 4 max damage attacks by them, range attacks by them, to kill me, you know, so... I think it's about time that I turned off enchant armor scrolls. I anticipate we might end up enchanting up a shield at some point, perhaps that large shield of protection, but for now I'm pretty happy with the +5 strength. Ooh. A lot of things in this game, when you take away all the pageantry and the BS and the nonsense, you take away, what? Is that a Zod trap? Ugh. Yeah, but if you take away all the nonsense and all the stuff that doesn't really matter, and you just boil it down to the essentials, this game often boils down to what's called a damage race. Which is a phrase, I don't know if it was coined during World of Warcraft, the heyday of World of Warcraft, or if it's just like a game term in general. I feel like I only saw that like after MMOs started being a thing. Whatever. You probably know what it is. It's pretty self-explanatory. The idea is that, you know, it's a damage race. You do damage to the enemy faster than they do damage to you, so that the ratio of your hit points to their hit points, you know, they die before you. You know, and all the fancy strategies you use to avoid to do anything in this game really is all geared towards maximizing that ratio of your damage to your damage and hit points to their damage and hit points. Even if they're damaging you faster than you're damaging them, you know, as you imagine, if you have way more hit points than them, you can still win that fight. But what I'm saying is that very often that's what everything boils down to. And so with this character, I mostly just want to stand and fight and kill things, and little optimizations add up, like little strength optimizations, you know, for this character. It gives me more damage, gives me more chance to hit, so on and so forth. Now, with casters, there's a little bit more going on, I guess. Unless you're like a blaster, there's certain choices you have to make that are a little more interesting. Jeez, what am I doing? I gotta. This is not great. I don't like the fact that this Hydra just showed up. Had some bad luck there. Really shouldn't be concerned. I mean, got all this AC now. I'm just still trying to play relatively careful. There's Navi there telling me what I have a text. Wow, we really have lured the whole floor, haven't we? Love that instant large rock kill on Spriggans. It's this cute little gif I saw once of there's like a Spriggan jumping up and down as a stone giant throws large rocks at him, and he jumps and dodges all of them, and then it finally hits him and it cuts him in half. That's basically the high EV, low HP life. Alright, we have no vulnerability. I would like to have some vulnerability. Whoa, 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 whoa! Started pressing buttons because I was trying to type vuln, and my character was moving because I hit the wrong thing. Alright, I know what I'm going to do. Finesse, Torment, large rock, got him. It's a good place for the Torment Scroll. We don't need it for TRJ, I have other plans for him. We'll do the melee thing, and we'll do quite well. You know what? I kind of want to go over. And go ahead and do slime. Then again, we've already done orc, dungeon, snake, and swamp. So this is already shaping up to be a pretty beefy session. It's 56 minutes in. Whoa. Hey guys. You know what? Let's do it. I think we can do it. We're making such short work of this stuff. I'm not worried at all. I think that we'll end up with like an hour 15 at the most if I'm just flying through this like I am. We gotta watch out for acid blobs because we have no our core. Do I have resistance? Yes, I do. I have 1, so that's enough to kill TRJ. As usual, we try to stay on staircases. I've seen people say that you need our core to do slime. You don't. You don't. It's just nice. It's a luxury. As long as you have ranged attacks, especially. And even then, you don't need it. You just need to be aware of how shaky your position is. Run early, run often is a good slogan for Dungeon Crawl, but especially when you're trying to do slime without our core. I would say RC is more important than slime than our core. Can't be paralyzed by those things. Very good. Alright, take this out. Trying to avoid getting the old mutation. Let's get our large rocks. Down to slime 5. finding a good amount of teleportation. We may actually be able to do that, that trove. Alright, that acid blob took a big chunk out of me. Let's bail. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of fighting him when the floor is not cleared out. In this case, I'm gonna love being next to these guys since they can't really do anything to me. We'll use might. We'll use resistance. We'll use agility. We have blinking. We have one throwing net, which hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, will be enough. Here's our buddy. Oh, I should heroism. We'll use summoning. Good enough, I suppose. Large rocks. Got him. All right. Let's use some of these penetrations. Not the best spot for them, but we're hasted and mighted and all sorts of things. I think we can handle this stuff as long as we keep resist up. How about that for a quick TRJ kill? Pretty straightforward, right? I like it anyway. Cool, we got a +9 blowgun. Turn that off. We could have, actually, you know what? We could have paralyzed him if we felt like it. I wasn't even thinking about my blowgun situation. That's one thing that is great, truly great in here. This character just happens to be strong enough that it didn't even occur to me. Needles are more of a luxury item in my opinion. Nice to have. You probably don't want them to make or break a character, is all I'm saying. But they certainly can do a great deal to deal with obnoxious little problems. Hey, that's a strictly better Profire. We'll keep that on for swaps. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, we're wearing that. I love Gong. That's awesome, and MR+. Really, really good stuff. Has our elect on it, which we'll, of course, not need, but wow, what a good find. This game is being rather kind to me. Had a bit of a rough start. I remember that first session, we really were doing some bad things. But yeah, what did I do? I know I had a chance of dying from something really early on, but all's well that ends well. Now we're kitted out to the extreme. Wow, good stuff. Hard to take damage when you've got Gong on. Now I just need to find like an artifact hat with +5 slaying on it. Wouldn't that be cool? Nah, I think we're pretty solid. I mean, come to think of it, I should probably be using this Ring of EV, to be totally honest. As much as I like having the extra strength, it just doesn't make sense. I want to have all my resistances in a row, because now we can go to Elven Halls, and, you know, other than our core, we're totally solid. So, you know. Yeah, we'll do Elf next. Obviously, we're going to cut the video now. We're over an hour, and I don't know how long Elf will take. Probably not long, but we are immune to banishment, thanks to all this MR we've got. Even Ancient Liches almost can't get me. You know what? We'll level up a bit, and that'll be immune as well. So why don't we go ahead and... You know what? I am going to pop this thing back on. Unfortunate about the walk, but whatever. It's not really that much piety decay. Alright, sweet. So we'll go into Elf next time, just give those elves a real bad day. Then we'll go into Vaults, clear out 1 to 5, and kind of see where we're at from there. Probably abandon at that point, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying. Until next time, I am signing out.